Enter any space, and there's always one man who commands attention without demanding it. It's not because he's draped in designer labels or drowning in accessories, quite the opposite. While others broadcast their insecurity through loud clothing choices, he wears something that makes people pause, though they can't quite explain why. Less than 1% of men grasp this approach to personal presentation. What I'm about to reveal goes beyond surface-level fashion advice. This isn't about chasing expensive labels, following seasonal trends, or pursuing conventional style rules. The truly self-assured man's approach to dressing centers on something far more substantial: communicating competence, self-mastery, and complete independence from external validation. Most men never crack this code because they're trapped in the exhausting cycle of seeking approval. Today, I'm dissecting precisely how the most confident men dress and why their approach works so powerfully that people notice them while simultaneously believing they're making no effort at all. Let's begin. Principle 1. Precision in fit. This is where the majority fails spectacularly. Most men fall into one of two traps: wearing clothes that are so tight to showcase their physique, or drowning in fabric under the guise of casual comfort. The self-assured man rejects both extremes. His garments fit with surgical precision, neither constricting nor billowing, just exact. Shoulder seams align where anatomy dictates. Sleeve length ends precisely where it should. Trouser breaks hit the shoe at the optimal point. Here's what makes this approach devastatingly effective. A perfect fit doesn't spotlight the clothing, it spotlights the person wearing it. When garments fit correctly, observers stop registering fabric and start registering the individual beneath it. Most men labor under the delusion that baggy equals relaxed and tight equals powerful. The self-possessed man understands that proper fit equals competence. It broadcasts, "I attend to details. I understand proportion. I respect myself enough to wear things engineered for my actual body." Pass someone in shapeless sweats and oversized hoodies, your brain barely registers them. Pass someone in a precisely fitted sweater and properly tailored trousers, something clicks. Not impressive outfit, but there's something distinctly different about this person. That's the entire strategy. The clothing isn't delivering the message, the attention to detail is delivering the message. Principle 2. Muted palette, zero decoration. Step into any retail environment and you're assaulted by oversized logos, graphic tees with clever slogans, and aggressive colors competing for eyeballs. The self-assured man's wardrobe exists in a different universe. His color strategy is surgical: black, charcoal, white, navy, olive, tan, earth tones, shades that have functioned for millennia because they transcend temporary trends. Zero graphics. No corporate logos colonizing his chest, no witty phrases, no cultural references. Nothing screams, "Validate me," or "My shirt makes me interesting." Why is this devastatingly effective? Because neutral tones without decoration force people to focus on the person, not the packaging. When you wear a shirt with commentary or branding, people read the fabric. When you wear a clean, well-fitted shirt in a timeless shade, people observe your face, your bearing, your energy.
Principle 3. Quality trumps quantity. The self-possessed man's closet isn't overflowing with options. He doesn't hoard 30 pairs of shoes or 50 shirts. What he owns is deliberately curated, and every single piece represents quality. This isn't about luxury branding. This is about superior construction. A premium leather jacket that will serve for 2 decades, not a cheap imitation that disintegrates in 2 seasons. Solid craftsmanship, durable materials, meticulous attention to stitching and finishing. He'd rather possess 5 exceptional shirts than 20 forgettable ones. 2 pairs of quality boots over 10 pairs of disposable sneakers. His wardrobe is minimalist by philosophy, not financial limitation. Why does this matter profoundly? Because quality is visceral. You can observe it, touch it, and intuit it. Premium fabric drapes differently. Quality leather develops character with age. Superior construction means garments maintain their integrity. When people encounter quality clothing, even if they can't articulate why, they register it subconsciously. This person values excellence. This person likely applies identical standards to other life domains. Additionally, owning fewer superior pieces eliminates decision fatigue. No closet bursting with options, yet nothing appropriate. Just dependable, versatile pieces that perform consistently. The self-assured man isn't accumulating clothing. He's building a functional wardrobe that serves him without demanding thought or effort. Principle 4. Utility over aesthetics. Examine high-fashion runway and you'll witness clothing that photographs beautifully but would be absurd to wear in actual life. The self-assured man couldn't care less. His style priority is function above all. Can he move freely? Is it appropriate for his environment? Does it serve practical needs? If these answers are affirmative, it qualifies. This means breathable fabrics, practical layering for temperature shifts, functional pockets, shoes suitable for extended walking, and outerwear providing genuine warmth, not just visual appeal. Here's the fascinating part. Functional clothing often surpasses purely fashionable clothing aesthetically because it's designed around human anatomy and human needs, not abstract artistic concepts. Work boots, cargo trousers, field jackets, Henley shirts, these were engineered for specific practical purposes, yet they've become style foundations because form following function creates inherently superior design. The self-assured man wears clothing that would make sense on a work site, in the wilderness, on a construction project. Not because he's doing those activities, but because that practical heritage means the garments actually work. They're not fashion costumes, they're tools. There's something deeply compelling about a man whose clothing suggests capability, like he could handle himself in any circumstance, like he's dressed for action, not for applause. Principle 5. Timeless foundations, never fleeting trends. Fashion cycles endlessly. Skinny jeans dominate, then disappear, then return. Every trend follows this pattern. The self-assured man completely disregards this carousel. His wardrobe consists exclusively of classic pieces that have functioned for decades and will continue functioning for decades more. White tee and denim, Oxford button-down and chinos, leather jacket and boots, wool overcoat and dark trousers. These combinations worked in the 1950s, the 1990s, work now, and will work in 2050 because they're not trend-based. They're built on timeless principles of proportion, color harmony, and simplicity. When you dress in timeless classics, you never appear dated. You never experience that moment 5 years later, reviewing photos and cringing at past choices. Your style doesn't age because it was never young to begin with. Additionally, ignoring trends conserves mental resources. No need to track what's currently fashionable. No pressure to constantly refresh your wardrobe. No anxiety about whether you're trendy enough. The self-assured man understands that chasing trends is simply another form of seeking social validation. Notice me, I know what's currently cool. But seeking approval through fabric is the antithesis of quiet confidence. Wearing timeless classics transmits an entirely different message. I know what works. I'm not here to impress you with fashion knowledge.
Principle 6. Minimal adornment, maximum presence. Most men either wear no accessories whatsoever or pile them on, multiple bracelets, flashy timepieces, chains, and rings on every finger. The self-assured man takes a surgical approach, One watch, possibly one simple ring, perhaps a quality leather belt, nothing more. Why this works? When you wear minimal accessories, the ones you do wear get noticed. A single quality timepiece becomes a statement without trying. A simple band or signet ring becomes meaningful rather than merely decorative. The self-assured man isn't accessorizing to construct an image. He's wearing things that serve a purpose or hold personal significance. The watch tells time. The ring signifies commitment or heritage. The belt performs its function. No jewelry for jewelry's sake. No accessories for aesthetic purposes alone. Just functional pieces that happen to look excellent because they're well-crafted and intentionally selected. There's tremendous power in this restraint. In a world where people decorate themselves with dozens of attention-seeking accessories, the man wearing almost nothing stands out through absence. His simplicity becomes his signature. You notice the man, not his adornments, which is precisely the objective. Principle 7. Context appropriate, not crowd following. This is where the self-assured man truly distinguishes himself. He doesn't dress to blend with whatever social group surrounds him. He dresses appropriately for the context, regardless of what others wear. Formal event? Formal attire, not because everyone else is wearing it, but because the context demands it. Working on a project? Work clothes. Relaxing at home? Comfortable clothes. He's neither overdressed attempting to impress, nor underdressed attempting to broadcast indifference. He's simply appropriately dressed for whatever he's actually doing. This sounds elementary, yet most men fail constantly. They appear at casual gatherings in suits, trying to seem important. Or they show up to professional settings in hoodies, trying to demonstrate they're too cool for dress codes. The self-assured man understands that appropriate dress is a form of respect. Not respect for others' opinions, but respect for the context itself. You dress for the environment, the activity, the situation, not for the crowd. There's quiet confidence in that calibration. When everyone else is either trying excessively hard or deliberately not trying at all, the appropriately dressed individual stands out through his understanding. He appears competent because his clothing demonstrates he comprehends context. Principle 8. Genuine comfort in presentation. This is the foundation supporting everything else. The self-assured man is genuinely comfortable in whatever he's wearing, not because his garments are particularly soft, though they likely are, but because he's not self-conscious about his appearance. He's not constantly adjusting his collar or checking reflections. He's not worried whether his outfit is working. He put on clothes that fit, that are appropriate, that are quality, then forgot about them entirely. This comfort translates into body language. He moves naturally. His posture is relaxed yet upright. He doesn't fidget or fuss. The clothes might as well be a second skin for how unconscious he is of wearing them. People detect this. When someone is comfortable in their clothing, they look better in it. Confidence is the ultimate accessory, as the saying goes, and the self-assured man has it abundantly. But his confidence doesn't originate from his clothes. His clothes simply don't interfere with his natural confidence. They're not so restrictive he can't move, not so loose he appears sloppy, not so flashy he'll feel performative, not so trendy he'll feel dated next year. They're just right, and that rightness allows him to forget about them and focus on everything else that actually matters.
The common thread. Notice what all these principles share? They all work to remove obstacles between who he is and how he presents. Perfect fit removes the distraction of poorly fitted clothing. Neutral colors remove the distraction of loud patterns. Quality removes the distraction of failing garments. Function removes the distraction of impractical fashion. Timeless pieces remove the distraction of dated trends. Minimal accessories remove the distraction of excessive decoration. Context-appropriate choices remove the distraction of being incorrectly dressed. Comfort removes the distraction of self-consciousness. What remains is pure presence. The clothes aren't making a statement. The man wearing them is the statement, and the clothes simply ensure nothing interferes with that. This is why only 1% of men dress this way, because it requires completely reframing what clothing is for. It's not for impressing people, not for expressing personality, not for following trends or displaying wealth or signaling group membership. It's for being appropriately dressed so you can forget about your clothing and focus on everything else that actually matters. Practical implementation. If you're examining your current wardrobe and realizing it doesn't reflect these principles, don't panic. You don't need to purge everything and start fresh. Start simple. One perfectly fitted pair of dark jeans, one quality white tee, one neutral button-down, one good pair of boots or clean sneakers. Build from there gradually, focusing on versatile, neutral pieces that coordinate effortlessly. Prioritize fit above everything else. Even an inexpensive shirt looks excellent if it fits properly. An expensive shirt looks terrible if it doesn't fit. Gradually eliminate anything with loud graphics, aggressive colors, or trend-specific styling. Replace them with timeless, neutral pieces as your budget permits. Focus on quality when possible, but remember that perfect fit matters more than prestigious labels. A well-fitted, affordable piece defeats an ill-fitting designer piece every time. Most importantly, stop thinking about clothes as self-expression or impression management. Think of them as functional tools that should enhance your life without demanding mental energy or creating social friction. Final perspective. The self-assured man's clothing approach isn't a costume or uniform. It's a practical philosophy of dressing that eliminates everything unnecessary and retains only what functions. When you dress this way, you stop thinking about clothes. You stop worrying whether you look good enough, cool enough, or fashionable enough. You simply get dressed and proceed with your life. Ironically, that's when people start noticing you, not your clothes, but you. Because you're not hiding behind fashion or using style as a crutch. You're just present, confident, and completely comfortable in your own skin. That's what quiet confidence looks like. And only 1% of men will ever grasp this. If this approach resonates more deeply than anything you've encountered about style before, tell me which principle struck you most powerfully. The truly self-assured man dresses for himself, never for others.